This is an issue that is worthy of our time. It is worthy of discussion. It is worthy of amendments. We're talking about parents' rights to understand what's going on in their children's lives.
When activist groups tried to attack the Parents' Bill of Rights in court after we passed it here, remember the vote, Madam Speaker. I remember it. It was 82-15 on this floor, and it was 49-0. It was unanimous across the rotunda. When the activist groups tried to attack the law in our state courts said it's good law.
We should trust parents for the well-being and care of their own children to make the best decisions as far as their medical care, their mental well-being, or anything else that needs to be addressed.
Something has drastically changed, Mr. Speaker. I remember a time when parents were working with teachers for the betterment of our children. What I see happening right now today separates families.
Mamas want to protect their babies. And at the end of the day, if they're dropping their children off at school and that they find out later on that that kid is getting some sort of mental health counseling or some sort of procedure or medication that they did not approve of, I'm going to tell you the first thing they're going to do is they're going to take their kid out and they're going to rethink either A, maybe I should go to another state, or B, maybe I should homeschool my child.
Madam Speaker, I hate losing. I'm hyper-competitive. I sit on the Education Committee, and the focus of my place here in the legislature of so many issues is I want so badly to fix our education system, and Madam Speaker, we are losing. And I'm losing because I'm a part of the committee. I bear responsibility for the failure where we're at right now in the state, and our kids, my kids. This isn't going to help us. I know it, and I think you know it. You honestly believe, Madam Speaker, that when this passes, that parents who have taken their kids out of school are going to say, oh, we got to put them back in? No, quite the contrary. More will leave.
The numbers speak for themselves. The numbers have continued to show that people have lost trust in our public education system. The initiative that we passed into law last year and the underlying bill that seeks to remove some of those protections will continue to drive those numbers down and away as parents look for places that they can have their kids in schools where they can know what is going on, is their right, and it should be the school's obligation to provide that to them in this state.
What they see is a system by which, in a series of small cuts and changes, our outstanding public education system has been undermined and debased into something that is incompetent at educating our children and puts us at a loggerhead with the state constitution, which charges us that our paramount duty is to deliver a high-quality basic education to all the children in the state.
Frankly, Mr. Speaker, I just can't believe we even have to talk about whether there should be sexually explicit, illicit, or pornographic materials in schools, whether that be an actual pornographic image or a pornographic illustration. And the reason why we're talking about it, we have this amendment, Mr. Speaker, is because it is happening.
Why are things of such graphic nature needed in school, whether it's for English, science, or any other class that may be taken? Our kids currently are not meeting basic education standards in a variety of areas. This seems to me a wholly appropriate amendment to rein in some of the excesses in this extra curriculum. And frankly, there's a good prescription in here, Mr. Speaker. If there are materials that are explicit, the parent should have to get advanced consent. It shouldn't be they found out, they grabbed it from a student's backpack, or it was brought home, or the kids were talking about it. We should be proactively going out and ensuring parental cooperation and agreement in these things.
There is no pornographic material that is necessary for a child. Can we preserve the innocence of a child in our public schools and not expose them to the genitalia of the opposite sex or other sex acts in books that they can find sometimes in their libraries?
I believe we've passed the Rubicon. There is no turning back from the damage that's going to happen to our children, to the parents, and ultimately the exodus out of our public schools.
I think it's really important, Mr. Speaker, to gain the trust of the citizenry of this state by putting this out to a vote of the people. I think the people will appreciate us putting it out and asking them. Because if we don't, they're going to look at this as an end run around what would have been the proper procedure for the initiative last year.
You know, Madam Speaker, I worry that a bill like this is more reasons that we don't see bonds pass. A bill like this is a reason why we don't see levies passed. It's a bill like this that I face at home where folks go, why should I fund your school?
Two people know what is best for a child's education, Madam Speaker: the child's parents. The parents spoke when they signed Initiative 2081. They expected us to comply with their wishes.
I agree with what my colleagues are saying about the reasons for no on this bill, and I would also add that we need to reorient our thinking to what average parents are worried about in schools. Average parents in my district come up to me at the store, and even parents whom I know to be from the other party come up to me and say, what is going on?
Instead of pushing parents and families away from the education process, we should be including them more in the decision making. We should be enhancing transparency and ways to reach out.
The reason why this cuts so closely to the core is because it is our sacred responsibility as parents. We have a responsibility to raise our children well as we can. We should be doing everything possible to strengthen the parent-child relationship, not create wedges. Vote no.